I'm getting this message. Okay? The message is basically about you loving someone, and I feel like you were giving your all. Like you were putting a lot into it. But you just always felt like the person didn't see what it was that you were doing, or they were just blind. You don't know which one it was. It's like, are you blind or just insensitive, or like what is it? I feel like this energy from you, and you know how to love. I feel like the person or the individuals that I'm speaking to, you know how to love, and you know how to love, right? But this person made you question if you were doing it right, like if you were loving correctly. They made you question your own love. But what I'm getting is that it's just that they weren't ready for a love like yours. Okay, this person was not ready for a love like yours because they had so much more learning to do. Because sometimes people can get with others too soon, and when they end up with someone too soon, it's like they miss the opportunity. And that's crazy because it's like they have the opportunity to be with the person, but then they miss it, even though they're actually with them. So it's a little different. But that's what I'm getting from this message. It's like they had a chance to be with a great person and they squandered it because they weren't even ready for someone like you, and they weren't even mentally capable to recognize the fact that they weren't ready for someone like you. But instead of recognizing what their problem was, they turned the tables on you, and they kept trying to make you feel like it was you that was doing something wrong. But it's like the only thing that could have been done better from your standpoint was to leave them alone sooner. That's the only thing I could see, because they wasted your time. That's what I'm getting. It's like, and them continually feeling like, it's almost like, oh, if I could get somebody this good, I can get somebody better. It's real egoic. This energy of, I heard pompous. I don't use that word like that. But wait a minute. What's that mean again? Pompous? Self-important. Pomp, splendor. Selfish, basically. But not like a healthy selfish. This is just like arrogant and conceited, but overly arrogant. Because there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. But when you are like over the top with it, and I feel like this is why the relationship got messed up for whoever this message is for. They're too egoic and they're not aligned with divine alignment. They're not aligned. I heard they're into self for the wrong reasons. Everything is vanity, surface level. Nothing goes deep with this person. This is someone that would focus more on their appearance as opposed to paying their bills at home. Like someone who would, you remember when I told you in one of these recent readings, probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, that I saw this clip where this guy gave this woman like $1,300 and she bought a wig instead of paying the rent? It's giving that energy. And then she was so nonchalant about it. And, you know, they didn't look like, I mean, I don't know, but clearly the money was for something very important. So the priorities were not there. And it's crazy how the guy didn't even recognize who he was with, because he it's almost like he was surprised. Maybe that was the first time that he asked this woman to do that, to pay the rent. Maybe he always does it, so he didn't expect that. But he got an unpleasant surprise because instead of paying the rent, she bought a wig. So it's like one of those people, it's like a lot of you were with someone that's like so vain and surface level that they don't know anything about the depths of what matters. They're not there yet. They have a lot to learn, okay? So many of you could have gotten really sad because, you know, it's not easy when you go through stuff like that. But I feel like you were able to bear the weight of the situation, and I feel like you're stronger now because you have made sense of something that happened in your life that was full of nonsense. This nonsensical activity going on in your life when with this person. They was out of touch. They was out of touch. They don't reach out to touch somebody. Like, I'm talking about in like the heart space. They so worried about the outside appearance that they forget about what's most important, which is the inside of a person, the mind, the psyche of a person. They completely negated what is most important in life. And that is not your loss. Just in case you felt like it was your loss at one point. Just in case you like were faulting yourself for the mistake that they made, because people like this have a tendency to turn the tables and make you feel like it was your fault. Whatever happened, they'll try their best to make it feel like it was your fault because they're so conceited and full of themselves that they never reflect on themselves to be better than they were before. They never do shadow work. Many like this probably don't even know what shadow work is. They probably have never heard that term before or anything. So they just believe that everything that they say is right. They can't be wrong, and they can't learn anything from anyone. They know everything they need to know. This is that type of energy. So I feel like this person is now feeling sad. I think that it's like this energy that I'm getting. In their mind, they just knew that, oh, like if I can get somebody that's this fine, I can get somebody else, and they're gonna be better than you. But why is that the mindset when you already have somebody that's loving on you? See, that's the thing. It's like this egoic thing where some people, it's like they just want to win, but they create their own competitions. They create their own like race. And they thought that you were like in it, but they created it on their own, and they were the only one in this game that they were playing because you opted out. I feel like you opted out of this game. You didn't want to play because you noticed what this person was doing, so you opted out. It's like, why do that if you know that I am someone who loves you and I'm for you? You know? That's what it feels like to me. So now that you removed yourself from this person's presence, or you stopped the relationship from continuing on in the state or in the condition that it was in, now this person has recognized your value because they kept trying to find someone that they perceived as better than you. And it was just to prove to themselves something. Like, they validate themselves by who they're with. So if somebody is of a certain caliber from a societal perspective, not from a spiritual perspective at all, but from a societal perspective, if this person looks like a trophy to society, then this person has won. So the more individuals they can get on their arm that is of a high societal status, not spiritual but societal, then they feel like they won, but they've actually gained nothing. And the funny thing is that you've gained much more through the lesson that you learned. The person that did this to you or that behaved this way towards you, they're just now receiving a lesson because they can't help but to see it. It's almost like they got smacked in the face with it, you know? And it's like this swift reality check, because I feel like something crazy may have happened, like somebody crossed them, like this person that they deemed as better than you, crossed them, wronged them, like did them dirty. You know, it feels like a karmic cycle that this person experienced after the separation between you and them. And it's not to glorify the karmic cycle, but it's just to it just goes to show, it's like Spirit wants you to know how things go down in life, because there's times where you feel like you want justice for a certain something that happened, but it is very important for you to know that justice will be served, even if it's not in this lifetime. But sometimes it is in this lifetime. But justice is always served. So don't, try your best not to get all caught up into slipping into a victim mentality off the strength of the traumatic experience and how it made you feel like less of a person. Don't allow yourself to get tricked by the illusion, because in all honesty, the person who treated you in such a way when you were given love and they just gave you their back, they turned their back on you, and you're someone who is coming from a pure heart, they're the ones who have to speak up to the universe when the universe comes to seek payment for that debt, because there's a debt there. There's a spiritual debt, and that's where that's why people have to pay karma back. It's a spiritual thing, and then they end up in spiritual court, and that is when they get into the next situation thinking something that wasn't correct from the beginning, because they were thinking that they can go out and find someone just like you just to spite you. It wasn't even like for a real reason. That's what I'm saying. It's like you loving this person, putting your all into it because you are a lover and you take care of those who you end up with, and this person, instead of like at least learning how to love you back, or just treating you like one should be treated. I was gonna say treat you like they want to be treated, but at the same time, I don't even know if they know how they want to be treated. Because people that treat others like this, I feel like they lack love for self. So I don't even know. This person's perception is skewed. So I say all this to say, it feels like this message is to remind you that you are still in star status. Like you are still moving from the heart of a good person. That's just what it feels like. Moving from the heart of a good person, regardless of how someone tried to rip your heart out, your chest. You know, you're still moving from the good in you, as opposed to allowing the pain to consume you, because that can happen. It's like a reminder that you are better than that. You rise above that. You don't allow those times to take you out like that, because they can if you would allow it to. But if you know, if you pay attention and you understand it and you give it a purpose, no matter what it is, it can't destroy you like how it would destroy others that don't self-reflect and that don't pay attention to the ways of the lost ones. Like, you learn a lot from looking at people who live a life of being lost. Because I could tell that this person was lost. They didn't really know where they were going. And they have a false understanding of relationships and what's important. Because the priorities are not there. And everything that they do is surface level. There's nothing that goes beyond this. It's beyond the skin. There's nothing that goes deeper when it comes to this person. So just know that this is I heard this is a one-up for you. This is an improvement for you. You just recognizing who this person was for who they are, and understanding that they will learn eventually. But sometimes for some people it takes longer because their head is so thick, they're so hard-headed, and they're so stubborn that it takes them longer to learn. But it doesn't mean that they're not going to go through some things, because they will. But it just, the more they ignore the trials, the spiritual tests, the harder their life is going to get. So it's like, being that you know this now, even if you didn't look at this type of scenario this way before you heard me say it, know now from this point on that if anything like that ever happens to you, even in the future, if it happened already or whatever, just know that you've gained so much from it. Don't look at it like you lost something, because you actually gained so much. Okay? That's the message. I hope it helps somebody. I'll see you in the next reading or the next message. Love yourself. Remind yourself that you love yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. I love you. As many times as you need to. Tell yourself how handsome you are, how beautiful you are. Tell yourself how intelligent you are. Look at yourself and say those things that you need to hear in order to push yourself to get up and go. You know? Because investing in oneself is the best investment, because it gives you stability, and your foundation becomes so strong that after a while you learn so many lessons that you don't look at lessons the same anymore. Let's talk real quick about how I wrote a book about how amazing you are. And it's dropping March 24th. Look out for